Alright everybody, High Country Carnage, Alan Burrow. Gonna set up a coyote trap. We're gonna have attempt to have a trapping segment on our YouTube channel. I know everybody says, oh, be careful, la la la, la-di-da. I don't care about those pussies. Let them have their raunchy stupidity. Sorry about it I'm being totally honest. This country, this world, not only has been trapping for over thousands of years effectively, and to create warmth in clothing, food for people, the indigenous or whoever it was, they trapped. They didn't have guns. They didn't have modern technology and weapons. And I swear to God, everyone's tried their hardest to shut it down. And we're just gonna sit here. I'm not gonna explain about how much knowledge I have with trapping, because I don't. I have enough that we've already caught my first set in October. We've caught 20 furs. So that made me feel pretty good that we're kind of on the right track. But, you know, I'm in a spot where we know there's a lot of coyotes. And I've had 7 traps set out for 3 days and goose egg. So this just proves how tough trapping these smart animals are. And you're not as effective as everybody says you are. And it's just crazy how, you know, people, oh my God, it's not your pet. It's a wild animal. And if we don't keep them in check, they're going to annihilate many, many other animals in this country, in this, you know, world actually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do I might commentate here and there what I'm doing, but you want to find a bush about like this that's gonna have, for coyotes, you want, you know, at least, you know, that big around, you know, or double. This looks like it's pretty doubled up or tripled up down way back in there, and the trap is gonna lay right about here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll come back and I'll set it up for close-ups and we'll get this started for you. Like I said, I am not a professional trapper. I've only had my trapper's license for 3 months now. But hey, all I can do is keep doing it, learn more. That's how I became an efficient hunter with elk, deer, bear, and wolves. And I'm just gonna play with it. You know, this is fun. I got the time to do it. I'm getting a little older. This is an easy way to, you know, spend the winter. So I don't care what anybody says. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm showing you. So hang tight. Let's get us a trap set. I use a big loop. We do. Use a big loop. Big enough that will go over your trap like this, and it'll half hitch. And it's the easiest way I can tell you how we do our traps. So what I do is I gotta crawl in there. Get the loop around, and then put the trap through the loop around. This one's pretty tight. That's good. You want it tight as you can. And you can see it comes out pretty far. But what we'll do, we'll probably set it here and bury the rope back in there. So what I'm gonna do first, have my tools, and I'm gonna start digging. Gonna need all this extra stuff to help hide. Got a little bit of snow. Ground's just a little bit solid. A little frozen. A little more than you would think. Pretty nice weather, but this trap is in the shade. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to get a level spot to set the trap. Pretty much making a bed for your trap. And if you wanted to, you could, if you want a little more sponge, which is why we have these springs back in here. And this one doesn't have one. So what I want to do is, you can see this branch is pretty rubbery. So what I want to do with that is I want to loop it around. I'm going to go under this one. No, over. I'm going to go over. I'll do the over. That'll hide the cable a little bit better. There we go. There we go. And if we get one in this one, I mean, they're just coyotes. They're only, 12, 15, 20 pounds. They're normally, they're not like a wolf. So you're going to end up having a smaller dog pulling when he gets in there, and that's going to be just a little bit of give. And it's kind of what you want. So they can't get any leverage on pulling their legs out or their toes out. So right about there's where I want it. It's almost exactly where I want it. Because you want the coyote to come in and smell the bait back in here. And I'll dig out a pretty good hole in there. Right there. Even with my bare hands, I can get a good hole for bait. Boom. So, step on the two is like that. Watch your fingers. Well, I'm no longer cold. Got a nice sunshine today. But now you want to just kind of try to get as level as you can. Yep, trapping is not easy. Not as easy as you'd think. So what I want to do is take this cable, sink it into the dirt, bury it. So with all the bait digging back there, we got some pretty good cover. You gotta get, it's best if you get the trap flat, is what I've noticed. That way it doesn't slide and miss trigger. Had that happen last week, trapping wolves in North Idaho. Like I said, I am learning. But I'm getting closer, and that's the best part of learning, is that you remember your faults. And then I usually just try to cover the outside edge of the trap. And then I also like to, it's probably buried in there. Here's my bait. You got to get some wax paper. And what I do with the wax paper, so if it snows, which snow is coming this Friday, we're going to come back and check traps. You want to put about that big of wax, crinkle it up. You hear how loud that is. Crinkle it up. Make sure there's no obstructions on the coils, on the pan. And then open it up. It's going to be like a little bonnet. And what this does is stops the dirt from getting underneath the pan and freezing, the water freezing. So you want something like that to cover. Then, when it's falling apart, I've been using it so much the last few days. Get you a little screen, some meat, or a fine strainer for your dirt work. So what I'll do is put my gloves. I wish I had my leather trapping gloves because they're already seasoned and smell pretty good. I have to go get some dirt. Okay, only had to go about 10 yards. Now I got some drier dirt. And what you want to do is just shake it. And if you have to, there is, you got your leftover clumps. And you can put those down in to block your soft dirt from going down in there. Put this around, and then do your fine, or you can do your coarse. Pour some of your coarse on there. Kind of gets the thing done a lot faster, but you don't want so much that you're going to snap that trap. And you can see it's starting to cover. Grind, and hide. You don't want to put too much on there, or it won't snap on when it steps. The animal steps on it. But you still got to get it. Then you take some stuff, grass. Don't use anything too big or too tough to where when the jaws of the trap go off, that they have so much stuff in there that they can pull it out, pull it out. So you don't want to have like these sticks and it's going to make a gap, and then they can weasel their paw out of there. So I like to just get the finer ground stuff, and it's already disappearing pretty good. And it's a good reason why you rust your traps too before you even get to this point, to where the brown color cover, it's camouflaged, completely camouflaged. Look at that. It's hard to even tell where that trap is. And that's how you outsmart these suckers. I need to dig big hole right there. And then I gotta get the bait. And what I got is a pound of beef burger here, some old burger in the freezer for 10-15 years at the bottom of the freezer, which works really well. I like to season it. Now the other thing I like to do is I like to take the wrapper and just leave it up there until I'm done. Get that smell up high, and then get this burger. You got to get it. Got to get it where it starts to smell like it's a dying animal, a little rotten, a little soured. And I'm an ex-retired taxidermist, so nasty stuff on my hands. And I'm not a fan of the burger. I don't like the beef fat. But it is what it is, and it's got to be done, so I do it. I left my rubber gloves back at home, so I'm just using my hands. And I'm piling in that big hole I just hand dug. Idaho law states that if you have open bait of any kind, you have to cover it so the birds won't get into it and see it. And I like to cover it up. Get this nice and stinky back in there. I got some meat that's legal. Old meat, rotting meat. Freezer went out, so we are allowed to use this. And what you got to do, you got to make sure that you get it nice and deep, in a deep hole. I like to cut it. I left my pocket knife. The animal, the coyote, the wolf will come in and carry it off. I have enough, just enough for one more trap that I got left. So I'll put it away. And then I am going to build up a berm cover like that. And then I'm going to get some burned up, dried up sagebrush, and I'm going to cover that as good as I can, because a bird or a critter can get in there and just pull it out and come across that trap and get caught. But if you cover it 100% with sticks, they'll step in the trap before they can get to the meat. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that down in there. And do whatever you can not to put your hand down where you just set the frickin' trap. Or yeah, it's going to get you. And I don't recommend it at all. Especially these bigger 4-spring wolf traps. You will have a hell of a time getting it off your arm. I'll tell you that, by yourself. And keep burying it, but leave enough air, leave enough airflow to be able to get that breeze going with that wind. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's enough to, I mean, the trap's right here, and the nose of a coyote comes in. He's going to get caught in the front foot. So know your distances from nose to shoulder on a whatever animal you're trying to trap. A wolf is a little longer. It's probably 20 inches, 20 to 24 inches. It'll be back here. Another 4 inches. And you can actually, I've seen guys place a trap perfectly and call the ball that, hey, I'm going to catch this animal on his hind right rear back. I want to catch them with the back, you know what I mean? There's some pretty stud trappers out there. I'm going to continue to get a couple more sticks. As I like to, if the trap is right there, I want to squeeze play a foot into that area. So right here it is. I want him to come in, step here and snap. Or I can bring those in and then spread that out. You want to kind of let them come in. Right there's the trap. You don't want him getting in there, backing out. You want to force him into where, I'm going to change that. I'm going to put these on this side. And I'm going to put this one right there. So that he has to step there to get in here. So there's the trap. There's the bait. He's got to come in here. They don't like to step on anything. So he will step where it's open right in this area. Some bait back there. And that's pretty much it right there. That one's ready to go. I just need to put a little more garbage back there. Weeds, sticks, grass. Just enough. The coyotes aren't as wary as a wolf. But just camouflage it, just like that. They're coming, usually hunting at night anyways. But it's a full moon. I think that's it right there. It's all, that's the gist of it. Now you wait. You go home. Idaho allows 72 hours. That's 3 days. So by the end of today, which is Tuesday, I got Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll check it on Friday. So that's my 72 hours. I got one more trap to set. I'm headed out. It's a patience game, and I hope I helped you. Like I said, I am not a professional trapper. I wish I was, but you gotta work your way up. All right, thanks for watching.